Bobby Darin's abandoned house holds secrets too painful for the spotlight. Behind the charming smile and chart-topping hits was a man chased by tragedy, heartbreak, and a deadly secret that stole him from the world too soon. What really happened behind closed doors? And what did he leave behind? This is the untold story of Bobby Darin's life, death, and legacy. In 1956, fate brought two young stars together, Bobby Darin and Connie Francis, both rising in the music world. Their shared manager, George Sheeks, introduced them through a songwriting collaboration, but the chemistry between them went far beyond music. Their romance quickly became intense, but Connie's parents disapproved. So much so that one night, after returning from a date with Darin, she found her bags packed and placed on the doorstep. Her parents had thrown her out. A bold and painful gesture that showed just how far they would go to end the relationship. But Darin didn't back down. He proposed to Connie, determined to fight for their love. Her father's response was terrifying. He stormed into the Jackie Gleason show's rehearsals with a gun, forcing Darin to flee through a window to avoid a deadly confrontation. After that, they parted ways, but the feelings never truly faded. For months, they exchanged secret love letters. Letters Bobby kept close for the rest of his life. Though they never reunited, the memory of that love remained etched in both their hearts. In 1960, while filming Come September in Rome, Bobby met actress Sandra Dee. It was Sandra's mother, Mary Duvaughan, who pushed her to give Bobby a chance. But Sandra's feelings were never straightforward. She later admitted she found Bobby brash, calculating, and difficult. Yet, somehow, the two married that December. They had a son, Dodd Mitchell Darin, in 1961, and for a time, they were Hollywood's golden couple. But behind the glamour, their marriage was unraveling. Sandra described Bobby as manipulative and emotionally distant, a man who constantly tested boundaries. After nearly 7 years, they divorced in 1967. In 1970, Bobby found love again with legal secretary Andrea Yerger. They married in June 1973, hoping for stability. But just 4 months later, they divorced. His worsening health was straining everything. From childhood, Bobby had battled rheumatic fever, which had severely weakened his heart. He knew his time was limited and lived every day with urgency. His heart condition shadowed every success, a reminder that the clock was ticking. Despite needing oxygen during and after performances, Bobby never slowed down. He kept entertaining, pouring every ounce of strength into his craft. In December 1973, Bobby made a devastating mistake. He skipped a dose of antibiotics before a routine dental visit, a fatal decision for someone with artificial heart valves. Bacteria entered his bloodstream, infecting the very valves that were keeping him alive. On December 11th, he admitted himself to Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles for emergency open-heart surgery. The 6-hour operation was one of the most difficult his doctors had ever attempted. But it wasn't enough. On December 20th, 1973, Bobby Darin passed away at just 37 years old. He never regained consciousness. In a final act of selflessness, Bobby had arranged to donate his body to science. Even in death, he gave back, hoping that future generations might benefit from what his fragile body had endured. Before fame and heartbreak, Bobby Darin's story began in a small, cramped apartment in the Bronx. Raised by his grandmother, he believed for years that she was his mother, and that his biological mother was his sister, a family secret that was uncommon in poor households at the time. Living through the Great Depression, Bobby's childhood was filled with hardship. But in that tiny apartment, something magical happened. Music filled the air, piano keys, drum beats, guitar strings. Bobby taught himself to play everything, driven by passion and pain. Music became his escape. From poverty, from illness, from the secrets that haunted him. By the late 1950s, Bobby's star had risen. His hits like Splish Splash and Mack the Knife launched him into the spotlight. With Sandra Dee, he moved into a stunning home at 1411 Rising Glen Road in the Hollywood Hills. A mid-century modern masterpiece, built in 1955. Designed by the house had a V-shaped butterfly roof, wrap-around windows, and terrazzo floors. It was sleek, glamorous, and perfect for entertaining Hollywood's elite. The couple lived there until their divorce in 1967. Over the decades, the home changed hands, but it always carried traces of Bobby's presence. After the divorce, Bobby purchased a grand Spanish-style estate at 702 North Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, a symbol of his success. With stucco walls, red-tiled roofs, and wrought iron details, the 8,500 square foot estate had 5 bedrooms, a chef's kitchen, a recording studio, and luxurious outdoor grounds. The studio was a creative haven for Bobby, and later attracted legends like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Ozzy Osbourne. For Bobby, it was a space to work, heal, and reinvent himself until he sold it in 1969, following personal turmoil and the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy, whom Bobby admired deeply. He retreated from the world. He moved to Big Sur and lived in an Airstream trailer, away from fame, wealth, and expectations. There, surrounded by cliffs and forests, Bobby reconnected with his soul. He wrote protest songs, changed his musical style, and released 2 albums under his birth name, Walden Robert Casoto. Titles like Born Walden Robert Casoto and Commitment captured this raw, reflective phase of his life. The Airstream wasn't just a place to live. It was a place to be reborn. Free from the trappings of stardom, Bobby found clarity. He simplified his life, focused on what mattered, and healed from the emotional wounds of his past. When he returned to Los Angeles in 1969, he was a different man. Stronger, wiser, more committed to truth in his art. But sadly, time wasn't on his side. Despite all he achieved, Bobby Darin's life was cut short. Yet his spirit, rebellious, romantic, resilient, lives on in his music, in the homes that once echoed with laughter and lyrics, and in the legacy he left behind. So, what do you think about Bobby Darin's incredible journey? From poverty to fame, from heartbreak to hope, from stardom to silence. Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories behind the stars. Thanks for watching.